Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, guys.
Afternoon.
How are you today?
Good.
Good, I'm fine.
Okay, thank you. Today I would like to present my presentations. It is discuss about reporting verbs in literature review chapters of the semester's thesis written by Vietnam's postgraduate. Okay. Here we've got the contents. I wrote 6 points. The first one is about researchers, and the second one about the problem and aim of the study. The third one is introduction. Next, methods, findings and discussion, and the last one is discussion. Our conclusion, I mean. About researcher, actually, in this research, there are 2 researchers that made this study. The first researcher actually is the leader. She is Nguyen Thi Thoi Lun PhD. She is a lecturer in one of Kasin University in Thailand, and her helper is Isra Pramulsup. She is also a lecturer in one universities in Thailand also. And next, the problems and the aim of the study. The problem and the purpose. The problem is how were reporting verb employed in terms of their denotative and evaluative potentials, their forms, tense, and voice in these chapters. And the purpose or the aim is to explore how reporting verbs were deployed in terms of their denotative and evaluative potential, their forms, tense, and voice, and in these chapters. So next, we are going to discuss about the introduction. Up here, I would like to introduce you to about what is reporting verb actually. Based on Highland's argues, reporting verbs are one of the lexical devices that writers need for both expressing a stance and connecting or aligning themselves with readers. And for another argues by Thompson and Lee, 1991, state that reporting verbs can be used by writers to report their own claims or ideas and to demonstrate writers' attitude toward others' claim. Right? And next page, it is about kind of reporting verbs. Actually, here reporting verb, it is based on Highland books in 2002 on page 11.9. Based on Highland, there are 3 subs of reporting. The first one is research X, and the second one is cognition, and the last one is discourse X. For each of the sub-reporting verbs, there are also divided into some subs. You can see by yourself. There is a finding, procedure, like positive, critical, tentative, neutral, and then also there are doubt, assurance, and counters. I'm sorry about the writings not clear enough. And next, here we have the 3 different categories of reporting verbs according to the process of the performance. The first one is about the textual or discussed verb. Now, for this for this reporting verb, this course have an obligatory component of verbal expression. For the examples like state, write, and then it is the stance how the writer wrote the study. And the second one is mental or cognition verbs. It is about the refer to mental process expressed in the author's text. For the example, like believe, think, and here also about the stance of the author who claims are being reported. Okay, and for the last one is research verb. Research verb used for the research activity or experimental procedure. For the example, like find, demonstrates to the interpretation of the writer. Okay. Here is the function. I wrote 3 points mainly. For the research X based on Helen's RQ, it is so there are acceptance of the author's result, and for the second one is portray the author's judgments, and for the third one is comment on research findings. It can be non-factively, and examples like find, identify, observe, and obtain. Now, here next is about the mental acts. Helen's in his book mainly made 4 points. For mental acts, it is for the authors having a positive attitude and accepting the reported information. And for the second one is the author having a tentative view, like believe, doubt, speculate, suppose, and so on. And for the third one is the author taking a critical stance. For example, it's disagree, dispute, nothing, and so on. And for the last one is the author holding a natural attitude. For the example, like picture, conveys, anticipate, and reflect, like that. And for the last kind, it is about the discourse or textual act based on the Helen's also. Actually, this discourse or textual acts, it has a function to allow writers to convey an evaluation of the stated material by either. It means can be used for taking responsibility for his or her interpretation by conveying their uncertainty or assurance, and for second one has a function to attribute a qualification to the author. Tense and voice. Here there is also tense and voice that will be that would be used by the researcher or the author. Based on Malcolm argues tense and voice of reporting verbs. There are a present tense used for generalization tense, and for the past it is used for reference to specific experiments, and present perfect it is used for references to areas of inquiry. Now, here also there are some facts of tense and voice problems according to the expert IQ that are found in research based on the some experts say that NNEW it is meant that for someone who not native in English, right? Commonly a writer that not native in English face some problems like the writers difficult to choose appropriate reporting verb for reporting claims. They do not take an appropriate stance toward a claim and tend to use less assertive device than native speakers. And second problem is a writer often randomly chooses a reporting firm without a consciousness for reporting claims. It is also by Pecorari in his book 2008, and based on Hyland in his book 1999 and 2002, describe these problems to both their deficit of vocabulary and their innocence to appropriately acknowledge source in academic writing when English is not their native language. That is common problems that are faced by a writer that who are not native in English. Here we've got the methods. The first one is the data. So the data took from 24 electronics TESOL MA thesis rating during year 2009 to 2012, and 24 literature review chapters consisted of 1,100 and have an average about 6,000 words for each literature review in each TESOL. And here the framework of analysis. Here I mentioned I wrote the steps. How did the writer or the researcher how did the researcher do the research? The step one is citation types integral. Then the second step is capture all citation. The researchers scan all the text, and the third step is check some keywords. And the first one, like this theory, it is did well by the researcher. Here also there is the finding and discussion. The finding and the discussion about the denotative or process categories. Here we got the frequency count, average per chapters, average per 1,000. From the table 1, so that division of reporting verb used in the literature review chapters according to their denotative classification. The score X is the highest with 62%, and the lowest one is cognition with 28%, and the lowest is cognition about 8%. Here it is the evaluation categories. There is finding, procedure, positive, critical, tentative, neutral, and depth, and so on. And from the table 1, explain that in research act, procedure and finding verb were almost equally used in literature review chapters of MA thesis in Vietnam. Here the the numerical data, and here's the examples of usage in each of a word that conclude in the each of a kind of reporting verb, like supposal, suggest, think, and notice, like that. And for from the performance, we can see that the first one is state. It is most used by researchers in 24 Tesla electronic, and for the left is the it is about the 1 or 2 times used by researcher. Here is also the examples that provide and classified, categorized, and so on. There is the tense and voice data, numerical data. For the table 1, the present sample and past sample were almost equally used in the literature review chapters. It is about 51%, and civil pass about 46%, and for the rest is about the present perfect. It is about almost 2% used by researcher. Here is the diagram. For the last one is I would like to discuss about the conclusion. From the conclusion, we can conclude that for the first one, the study found that the scores X were the most prominent, followed by the research X and cognition X. And second is mistakes and non-idiomatic expression reflect their deficit of vocabulary and their low level of language proficiency. Now 3 is more non-factive reporting verb usage of evaluative potential were found. And a few instances of critical and counter verbs reflect evidence refuting and criticizing previous research. There are actually 7 points. And the last point I would like to discuss about the notes. Here I note 3 points. The first one is about effort. With the first function and rhetorical effects of reporting verbs can have on their academic writing. The second is an explicit form-based instruction, lexical, grammatical aspect of using accurate and appropriate reporting verbs need to be introduced in classroom. And the last one is with rhetorical practice, writers can sensitive to subtle ties can use in a conscious and effective manner in their future academic writings. Okay, maybe that's all for me.